You can feel the energy tonight for this Wizards team looking for their 6th win in a row with the return of Kristaps Porzingis and his 17 points. Of course, to go along with Bradley Beal's 21 points. Everybody was on fire, but nobody more than Turbo. Deni Avdija going off for a career-high 25 points, 9 boards. He had a block and a steal. By the way, knocking down both of the three-point shots he took tonight. You could feel it. It's been a really long time since the Wizards won down in San Antonio, so we can finally exhale. This one's on. Now we can move on from it. Welcome to Postgame Live. Coach Jimmy Patsos here with me. Chris, Drew, Megan coming up momentarily, and we will be hearing from Bradley Beal as well. But, Coach, I want your thoughts on this one. Seeing as the last time we were winning down there, we needed duct tape, water, Y2K, and we're watching the movies.
And Drew Gooden was at El Cerrito High School. I know where he went to school. What a great win. Anytime they needed a big bucket, it was Beal who got it. I love that was the Valpo play to end the half. Porzingis got it, hit him right in transition. To AM1. You saw how fired up Beal was. See, I love that when your captain's that emotional.
Yes.
And halftime. This is 6 in a row. We won 7. We're going to Detroit. Detroit and San Antonio, they're worried about Victor and Scoot and the Thompson twins and Miller at Alabama. Those are draft picks. We're worried about the playoffs. We're worried about moving up. We're moving on up. We're getting out of the play-in. Everybody's playing great. I thought Kispert had a good third quarter. But Deni Avdija, his engine was roaring tonight. He played it. Everything he did was tough and hard. And I think the organization, Tommy Shepard, and the owners deserve a lot of credit for saying, Rui's now gone. We loved him and we'll miss him. But it's your show off the bench, and he has responded well.
Coach, looking at this box score tonight, if you didn't watch the game and just looked at the box score, you'd be like, what was going on? Check this out. 56% from the field, the Wizards are. 53% from 3, 88 from the charity stripe, and held the Spurs to 19 points in the second and in the fourth quarter. Coach, it wasn't pretty early, but they got the job done down the stretch.
Yeah, they absolutely played well down the stretch. And like I said, they finished the half good. And it's a 5-game road trip. You know, you've still been on the road for four games already, but it's 8 days. And now you got to go to Detroit. The good news is Monte Morris and Kuzma will be close to Flint, so they'll have some friends there. But you just got to keep playing well because the standings are moving. The Pacers have their issues, not our problem. Right. Knicks have their issues, not our problem. Just keep winning, climbing the standings. But we're feeling good. If you didn't feel the energy and how great a game that was to watch, it wasn't perfect early, but I was excited. And you could see Beal was excited for Deni and KP. You hear him calling on my brother. You see DeLon Wright high-fiving. Like, as a college guy and a former head coach, that's what happens when you start winning. Let's keep it going.
Contagious. Confidence is such. Well, right now we got Megan McPeak with Bradley Beal after this big win for the Wizards down in San Antonio.
All right, Brad. When we were in New Orleans, you mentioned coming here because we haven't won since the 99 and the 2000s. How does it feel to snap that streak?
Man, first praise my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. This is amazing. This feels good. You know, we've been playing really good basketball. It's even better to be able to get a win in this building. We haven't won here in ages. So to crack that seal over, and that definitely feels good. We're gonna enjoy this one and get ready for Detroit.
With Philly losing earlier tonight, you guys officially have one of the longest winning streaks in the NBA active right now. Talk about what is working offensively and defensively that is clicking since this 2023 year has turned over.
It's really our defense. And the biggest thing is getting guys back healthy. We knew that once we get our guys back, we give ourselves a legit chance of seeing what we're like and how we can compete on the nightly. And we've been doing that. And thankfully, we've been bringing it on the defensive end. We're a talented offensive team. We have so much versatility on that end, and everybody's able to do so much stuff and contribute to the team. But when we're locked in on defense, we're a really tough team to beat. So, you know, the offense becomes that much easier for us.
You're still a young player, but you were once in Deni's place in this league trying to figure out how you can have an impact. Talk about the night he had tonight and just the confidence that he's playing with right now.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. We call him Turbo. That's his new nickname we're going with now. But he's taking that step, man. That's what you have to do as a young player. It's tough, as you said, because you're trying to find your niche. You're trying to find your way. You want to be known as, you know, someone specific, and he came out tonight, and he was super aggressive. You know, he's been aggressive over the last 6-7 games we played in. You know, so we love that part of him. We love his aggression. That's who he is, and we need him to continue to do that for us.
Enjoy this one because you got Detroit coming up soon, Brad.
You know it. Thank you.
Shout out to Brad giving the dub as we bring in Chris and Drew. Guys, tonight, obviously a lot of different storylines to talk about, including Turbo. And as you said during the broadcast, not Turbo and Ozone from Breaking. And shout out to Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo. That was my movie. But the young guy went off tonight. I mean, come on. This was Deni's night, was it not, Drew?
This is the best we've seen Deni Avdija play in a Wizards uniform. And it didn't take that long for him to have this type of game because we've seen him creeping and getting closer to that ceiling of potential as of late when he talked about the games he had coming into this ball game and then him putting the icing on the cake tonight with a win, snapping that losing streak since 1999. Was Deni even born then? so I just love what I saw tonight from him. You're seeing the growth, you're seeing the development, and all the hard work paying off. I mean, Deni Avdija has had some frustrating nights in a Wizards jersey, and as of late, I have not seen him play this confidence, with the flow, the pace, the speed, and the sense of urgency on both ends of the floor. I tell you what, who was really impressed was Coach Popovich. Every time Deni Avdija made a move or did something nice at the rim or got a stop on a defensive end, Pop was just looking at him in amusement, was just amazed that, wow, he's come a long way. So I hope he wasn't looking and licking his chops too much because Deni will be a free agent here in a couple summers.
Please
or
don't
whatever,
speak that into existence. Just stop. Deni started 1 for 3.
He balled out tonight.
Yeah, he started 1 for 3, finished 9 for 9 from the field. And our statistician, Paul Evans, just sent me this. Avdija was a plus 25 in 33 minutes. So when he was out there on the floor, he was making an impact, guys, not only offensively, but once again that we've noticed from Deni from his rookie year. He accepts the assignment of guarding the other team's best player. And now offensively, there is something about the confidence that this young man has of getting the ball off of the backboard and pushes tempo. And the fact that he's bodying players now, he's using his size to his advantage finally. And this is all a part of that confidence that I think Drew has talked about. Listen, you make a trade and it opens up an opportunity for someone. Sometimes people don't take advantage of that. This kid is taking full opportunity of it. And not only is it Deni's success, but this team is now a season-high 6-game winning streak. They get it done here in San Antonio. We've talked about how long it's been since they've won here. And now they have an opportunity in a couple of days to come back home, winners of 5 straight on the road. If I would have told you guys that before this road trip started, you wouldn't believe me, but there's something about winning.
Yeah.
Look how these guys are turbo dance and chest bumping. The greatest deodorant in sports is winning.
Quick fact check real quick. Deni has been a plus 50 since the trade, and then he was not born before 1999. He was actually born after 1999 in 2001.
At this point of journalism, you normally credit the people that gave you that stat.
Shout out Rich Wolf, our producer.
Thank you.
I like Paula. Hey, Drew Gooden was an Oakland Soldier at El Cerrito High School. Chris was covering another Oakland Soldier. That would be LeBron James in high school last time he won. But do you think, Drew and Chris, you're on this trip, beating a really good Luka Doncic and Dallas team, was that like a key moment to say, like that was the best team on this trip? Was that a huge win? Tell us. You guys were there. I wasn't.
Yep.
Listen, whenever you win the first game on a road trip, is a plus. It sets the tone. You got a momentum shift going forward, and you're starting to put games in the bank. There's going to be some times where you're going back-to-back on those road trips. Negative 20 outside, you can't get up to play, you kind of get off to a slow start. You might not win the game, but it's all right. You won that first game of that trip, and you can make it up on the back end. And for the Wizards to get off to such a tremendous start, keeping that win streak alive from home and letting it travel in their suitcases here in Texas, there in New Orleans. And now, guess what? You got Detroit to go up there and finish. It looks good, what I'm seeing with the Wizards in their future.
I just noticed that Dallas trip, as Drew said, really kind of set the tone, but I'm going to give the Wizards credit. I thought the Rockets game was probably the best game on this trip because they were down by as many as 19 points in the first half, and the way that Houston plays, it's an AAU type style, and teams kind of get seduced by that because they're like, oh, they're just running and gunning, they're not running sets, they're just out here just playing basketball. And the Wizards got caught in that, I thought, the first 24 minutes, and then those veterans came up and said, okay, enough. It's the Houston Rockets. We know what they're doing. And then they take that momentum against the New Orleans Pelicans. I mean, these wins, I thought the Pels and the Mavericks games was those two games on the trip where you go, I don't know, and they were able to win those.
The Rockets too. I mean, being down 19 points,
Yeah.
and then coming back having to win that ball game by double digits. I mean, they've been in some situations.
Guys, is it me? And please, by all means, Chris and Drew, correct me, Coach, same way if I'm wrong on this. Have you noticed a change in the style and speed of this team since the trade? And especially looking at Brad since he's come back, have you noticed that he's adjusted his style too? What do you make of that, Drew?
What dictates this team's speed is how well they get stops on the other end. They get rebounds. Multiple guys can get the ball off the glass and push it. Deni Avdija, Kyle Kuzma, Bradley Beal, you name it. Probably with the exception of Porzingis. You might not want Porzingis grabbing the defensive rebound, pushing the break, but I love how anybody can be the point guard by committee. It doesn't have to be Monte Morris, people rubbernecking after defensive rebound trying to find him. No. They have guys that have the ability to push the ball on the break and get things cracking in transition. And when you look at the big three tonight, look at the numbers. This is solid. And this is just enough. When you play teams like the San Antonio Spurs, young teams, you're going to have nights like this, especially when you got guys off the bench like Deni Avdija scoring 20 what?
The rebounds and the assists really kind of tell the numbers of the three best players on the team and what they were able to do tonight. And you got to give credit to Washington coming in here against this Spurs team that is dead last in the league. They're giving up 122 points per game. So there were opportunities to score tonight. And for Deni Avdija to be the leading scorer really speaks to the depth of this team when they are whole. Wes, you remember me saying this a couple of weeks ago. Judge the Wizards when they're whole.
Yeah.
Now they're whole. Now we can look at this team and see what they have.
I'm impressed by it. And again, as ironic as it may be, tonight was without Gafford. So again, trying to find this team at its whole, this is what we're getting. I'm excited about the Detroit game. We know about the Michigan boys returning home. We've seen Kyle Kuzma send those Piston homes waving goodbye before. So, gentlemen, I'm looking forward to that. And I'm going to say goodbye to you both right now. So appreciate it and safe travels. We'll see you in Detroit in a couple of days. Coach Patsos, you and I, we get to talk about the return of Porzingis. We knew that we were excited about possibly seeing him and Gaff together, but Gaff was out tonight with non-COVID illness. So it was on the Unicorn. Unicorn almost gives you another double-double because it seems to be what he's able to do.
He's playing happy. Look, Porzingis wants to be part of the winning thing too. You know, he had his critics in Dallas, okay? Wasn't sure, you know, is he a bust after New York? He looks happy, he's healthy. And everyone said this, and Wes, you and I said this the night that I was here with you, the night he got traded. What's his availability?
Yeah.
Well, he's like, I'm coming back on this trip. I'm not just going to cash it in and wait till I get back in D.C. I want to join my team out there. The fellas are having fun. I want in. Gafford goes out. It's even more critical because of that, because he's a shot blocker and he's a presence. I will say this. His brother out there, Deni, and I say that because when Deni Avdija was interviewed by Megan coming off, he said, KP's my brother. He showed me around. And Deni provided a lot of toughness tonight.
Yeah.
Because as you know, I was a little nervous as a coach with no Gafford because he's kind of a mean dude in there, and I like that. And he's a rim. He'll dunk on you. He'll block shots.
We call him the landlord.
And he might even say something while he's doing it. I think that's okay. Not everybody does.
Yeah.
But I was a little concerned. Well, Porzingis comes out and makes his size a presence and plays well. But Deni gave you the toughest combined. I thought that answered the no Gafford.
It was such a balance because Deni Young with the run, you know, he's young and the Spurs are young, so he runs with them. But Porzingis being a bit more of a veteran, keeps things calm, keeps everybody steady.
And I just love that he wanted to come back. He could have said, I'll wait till the road trip's over or the Spurs aren't any good. No, I'm ready, Coach. I want in.
Get on the train. Don't wait for it to pull into the station. Well, speaking of everybody enjoying this win tonight, how about head coach Wes Hall Jr. at the post-game podium right now?